Okay, so we're going to go over this assignment of the needs assessment. So this this is new to me, this assignment. I didn't make it up. Um, don't say, oh, I can't believe Grafton's making us do this plus this paper. But it is what it is. So um, all right, so it says in small groups, 2 to 3 individuals. So, but what I'd like you to do, we're not going to form new groups. We're just going to use whatever arrangement you have for your paper. You might have a partner. You might be doing it yourself because I really think that the easiest thing to do is to base a needs assessment on what you're researching for this paper. Why research something again? Why, why start something new? Why get a new group of partners? So, you know, I would just, if you have a current partner, work with them. If you are on your own, shouldn't be that big of a deal. But you're already doing your research. You're already becoming familiar with the issue and the population and the needs of that population. What's working, what's not working, um, what still needs to be addressed. So, you know, you're going to develop needs assessment questions and hypothetical answers. Uh, from those answers, the group will develop a plan or a program and the evaluation of that program. So I would personally like to just integrate this with the model that you're developing. So you're not developing a whole plan as a result of your needs assessment and a model for your paper. So I just think it would be easier. It'll save you a lot of time and work. And and it'll go along with the theme of the project you're already working on. Because I don't want to give you an entire new project. So if you think about it this way, I would just look at all the research that you're doing and come up with with basically a little needs assessment, basically a survey of questions. And remember, you're going to think about the population that you want to help. You're going to think about, are there different segments of that population? Like if you're in a school, are there parents and guardians? Are there students? Are there teachers and administration? Or what are those segments of your population that you may need to tweak your questions a little bit? Um, and so what types of questions would you include, with the population and the issue that you're already researching for your paper? Okay. So think of a population you'd like to serve. That's the one in your paper. Construct a needs assessment that includes 3 questions for participants. You'll come up with hypothetical answers. 3 questions, that's nothing, you know. Um, so, even if you said, hey, what's being done and what's working, what's not working, what's not being done. Those are pretty basic questions, you know. But they just have to be formatted to your issue and population that you're addressing. Using needs assessment answers, so you can make up answers. You could say, hey, we address everybody in Western PA, or maybe in a school district or a county, or whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. But you should think about the same sample population that you'd like to address in your paper, like try to keep it the same, just for consistency. So think about, do you want to work with a county? Do you want to work with a school district? Do you want to work, in a town, how big of a population do you want to address first, before it gets bigger later on? And, come up with some hypothetical answers. You make them up. But base them on what you think the answers would be. If you know some needs aren't being met, make the answers kind of go along with that. And, you know, using needs assessment answers, develop the purpose of the program. Using needs assessment answers, develop 2 objectives for the program. And this is all things that you're already doing in your paper. What needs do you want to address with your model, basically? Who do you want to help? What do you want to help them with, basically? So this should not be new to you. But basically all you have to do is copy these questions into a Word document. You don't have to include them with your paper, but basically just cut and paste these and answer the questions in a Word document. I do not want this to be a big deal for you. Using needs assessment answers, develop the purpose of the program. Using needs assessment answers, develop 2 objectives for your program. And all of these are going to be things that you're going to include in your paper anyway in some point. Develop a program evaluation plan. So this is not something you're already including, but it is something that you can include in your proposed study. So if you write a paragraph about this, you can include this in your proposed study, which we have not yet gone over. So which type of evaluation will be conducted? Who's the audience? Who will review or use this evaluation? Well, basically school counselors or counselors. Who will conduct the evaluation? Which approach would be used in the evaluation? And it would basically be a combination of everything. What type of data would be collected? It's, and then how often will the data be collected? So it's usually annually, each year, or if it's in a school, it's each academic year. And those are considered your yearly outcomes. But let's look at this little rubric here. And it goes into some detail about the grading process. You got the introduction, you've got the parts to the needs assessment, the program, and the evaluation, APA formatting. So, I would think 1 to 2 pages at the most, follow the questions. There is a chapter on this in your book. I did go over the chapter. But I think it's on program evaluation. Anyway, so I think that this does not need to be too stressful. It's a little bit of a hassle. Use what you're already doing, as best you can. Answer the 6 questions and those sub questions under number 6. And I think you'll be good. So I don't want you to stress too much about this, but it is something you have to do. So, I know I'm not going into a lot of detail about this assignment, but, I'm not going to be that picky about it either. If you answer these questions and it fits what you're researching, I'm probably good to go with this. So questions for me about this assignment. It's due the last day of class when your paper is due. So you could basically work on this as you're completing your final paper. 2 pages at the most, 1 to 2 pages. Questions, comments? Questions?